Welcome to the Where's the Finish podcast. We are three runners talking to our friends, sharing stories about running, training, life, and asking the essential question, where's the finish? WTF.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Where's the Finish podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Shae.
And with us on the call today is Lisa McFadden. Hello, Lisa.
Hello. Hey.
Hey, Lisa, we can't see you wave.
Yeah.
We can see you wave, but everyone listening can't hear you
She's
wave.
waving very enthusiastically.
Yes.
I'm waving to y'all.
Yeah.
Hey.
Welcome.
So, we usually kind of just jump into, a little bit of your history and talk about your running and all that kind of cool stuff. But, you're our first guest from North Carolina. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we've kind of covered mostly Florida areas. We've had some northern folks, right?
Texas.
Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Illinois.
So it's cool to have
Iowa.
someone from
Love
our
you, Tiffany.
our southern sister state up there in North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina for a long, long time. So
I remember you told me about that.
what a wonderful, beautiful place. And I was, we was talking a couple weeks ago about races. I really want to come up there and do some races. You guys got a lot of races going on in North Carolina too.
We do.
Yeah.
I've done one race in North Carolina, and it was the Idiot Run.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Fellowship of the Idiot.
Fellowship of the
No.
Idiot. Yeah. Yep. So I did that like 2 years ago with
Please
my
tell us
friend,
more.
with my friend Stephen Dent.
What is the
the Idiot
Fellowship
Run?
of the Idiot?
So basically, it's a 19.2 mile run.
That's
where
random.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's basically was meant to be, I think it's meant to be like a last 20 miler before the LRB, maybe. One of the marathons
It
up
can
there.
be, yes. A lot
Yeah.
of people do use it as a training run.
Yeah, yep. And so basically you just go up this one mountain and you come back down.
Well, it sounds like the course that would be set up in that distance is like, I got really drunk and lost. I'm a runner, so this is what we're going to do every year.
Yeah, but you get a t-shirt and you're considered an idiot, and you can be a returning idiot if you go back.
God, I'm an idiot without doing any of that.
It's a very lovely
So
t-shirt.
who did you say you ran it with?
Stephen Dent's.
He's one of my buddies,
Yes,
too. We
yes.
have the same birthday.
You do? Oh,
nice.
yeah, no, Dent's is one of my favorite people. He's the greatest. So,
And we met him at Badger.
yep, you met him at Badger.
Yeah.
Him and Sheila
and
Sunshine.
They watched me puke at that beer mile.
They did.
So Lisa, I got to meet you this year when we were at the Western States. So you ran Western States. Apparently, this is your second time running Western States.
Yes.
And so, and we got back and, seen your, hooked up with you on social media and seen some of the stuff that you were doing with your races, all the runs that you've done. So you're out of Raleigh, North Carolina area?
I'm just south of Raleigh in a little town called Lillington.
And with you, you're real busy. I mean, you're a race director, so you have the Cape Fear 24-hour endurance run that you
Cape
do,
Fear 24-hour endurance run.
and that's coming up in just a couple weeks. I mean,
Yep.
so
A little over 2 weeks.
so you're in full swing into race director mode right now, I bet.
Do you still have availability if people listening wanted to join?
I do not. I'm supposed to be capped out at 150, but I let everyone off the wait list, and right now I'm sitting at 182.
Oh, man.
And I know. So I had to shut down the race registration and my wait list on Friday. So
are you anticipating there's going to be some
Yeah.
people that drop out or did not start or something, bring you back down to 150, or your
Yep.
permitting people going to be okay with 180?
What they don't know don't hurt them, Joe.
Yeah. So I'm capped. When I first started this race, I asked my timer because I wanted to know when I start and this race gets bigger, what is my limit? Like, what do I need to cap it off at? And he said about 125, 150, just because of the size of the loop. And I'm like, okay, we'll just cap it at 150. Well, it's been selling out for the last 3 years. So it's
Well, how long have you been doing this race?
it's a great problem to have.
Yes, for sure.
Huh?
How long have you been doing that race?
I started in 2018, and that year we had 63 runners.
Wow.
And so this is we didn't do it the COVID year. So this is the 6th year of having it.
Well, I think we should just naturally transition into the race a little bit. I mean, I want to back up, but I mean, we're already on the race. So let's go ahead and talk about Cape Fear a little bit. Tell us where it's at, how, like, what's the distance look like, elevation, things like that?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of friends I know doing this event. This is fun. Sorry.
So what the greatest thing is because Shae, this is like a reunion for HOTS and Ball State runners.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see like Salt Shack on there. I see Joey on there. I see Ray K on there.
Yeah, Joey's been here for this will be, I think, his third year. Ray K has done it. He's been here every year. One year he didn't register, but he was out here doing laps with Casey. Stephanie Miller and Tim, this will be their first year here. But we have a lot of runners that come back and do it year after year. Mm-hmm. So it's, I was looking at the list yesterday. We have 14 people that are coming back this year that has done it every year.
Wow, that's amazing.
Awesome.
I think it was like 107 that have done it at least one time.
Wow.
Our largest age group was 50 to 59, and we have 11 people over the age of 70.
Wow.
So I know.
So is this a flat course or?
It's pretty flat. There's this one little section that's got like a little tiny incline that goes up. So it's I
don't like it.
That's where you get to walk.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's a 0.9 mile loop around the baseball park in Lillington.
Okay.
And so at nighttime we turn on the park lights, so you don't have to have a headlamp. There's a bathroom with running water and toilets, and I also have additional 2 porta potties on each of the ends, so you can use the bathroom down there. And so it's a fundraiser for an organization called Buddy Backpack, and so what that is, it's an organization that raises money and prepares bags of food for school-age children so they can have food over the weekend.
Oh, so kind of like they go home with a backpack full of food?
Yep.
Love those.
Yeah,
those are good ones.
It used to be a backpack. Now it's like a grocery sack.
Yeah.
That they just shove in their book bag. But so for the first 5 years that we've been doing it, we've raised a little over $30,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Wow. And I said, when I started this, that I wanted all proceeds go to this organization. So we don't keep any of it. We keep $200 in the account for incidentals to start it up the following year, but everything goes to this organization.
Now, is it on the Cape Fear River? Is that why you call it Cape Fear?
Yeah, it's right next to the Cape Fear River.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. With a lot of history in that area too.
Yep.
Awesome. So, I want to get into your races. And I was looking at your Ultra sign up, and the first time I seen you sign up for a race on Ultra sign up was like 2008. So you've been doing this game for a while. Tell us a little bit about your running history. I mean, when did you become a runner? Have you been like running since you were like born, or did you come out the womb running, or when did running happen to you?
Okay,
when did running happen to you?
Yeah, because it happens to us.
I feel that's so hard. When did running happen to you?
Or when did you happen to running?
Actually, when I was about 29.
Okay.
It was, so I started a little bit later. When I was in high school, I was not a runner. I did do track in the 10th grade. I did hurdles because I was a cheerleader, and I thought, I can jump over stuff. But, that was terrible logic because it was terrible. I have brothers and sisters that ran track. My brother went to college on a cross-country scholarship. I didn't have that gene until much later.
But you did cheerleading, right? So when you were
a girl.
Cheerleading is a sport.
I challenge anyone to say cheerleading is not a sport. Those are some of the most athletic young ladies I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the stuff that
and young men
do. Yeah, and it's become more popular for young men. In the collegiate world of cheerleading, you see these guys that are going in and they're throwing people like
sky high.
Oh man.
Yeah. That I wanted to be a cheerleader in high school, but it's because I wanted to be around the
I believe that.
That's what everybody. Yes, I was going to say that's like the thing.
Yeah, I get to ride on a bus with a bunch of girls to football games.
You wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's Joe's catchphrase.
So when did you? Did you go right into ultra running, or was it like kind of like you were like the 5K princess, or
5K princess?
Yeah,
why?
the queen of marathons.
I wanted to do a 5K, and that was my goal. I wanted to be able to run an entire 5K, not walk, and not be last. That was my ultimate goal. Because when I started, I was like, I'd run, walk, and then I decided, well, I'm going to sign up for a 5K, and that was my goal, was just not have to walk. So I finished that goal, and I was so proud of myself. It was probably like 30, 32 minutes. I don't remember what the time was, but when I finished, I was so proud of myself that I was actually able to do that, because I was not a runner. And then one thing leads to the other. You got to do the 10K and then the half marathon and then the marathon. And I had run maybe 3 or 4 marathons, and I wasn't getting any faster. So I was just like, well, maybe I'll do something different. And I had decided I was going to sign up for the Goofy Challenge. So I had, I was like, well, how do I train for that? And I knew another girl who had run that. And I asked her, I said, how did you train for that? She goes, I run ultras. That's my training run. And I'm like, well, what's an ultra? And she's like, well, and she explained it. And, when they say, oh, you just walk a lot, you talk to people, and you eat, that was sealed the deal right there. So then I was hooked. I had to go out there, and I was doing all sorts of, research on what it was. And I signed up for my first 50 miler prior to doing the Goofy. I did the Huntsville 50 miler in Huntsville, Texas in December of 2007.
Now, was that trail or road?
That was trail.
It was trail.
It was
okay.
in Huntsville, Texas.
Nice.
Yeah, it's where Rocky Raccoon is held.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
And so I finished that in like 11:45 in the 12-hour time limit. I loved it. After that, so then I was hooked, and then I signed up for Umstead 100. At that time, you could, sign up
Yeah.
like a few months before. It didn't sell out immediately. So I signed up for that, and that was a learning experience because I DNF. Well, if you hit 50 miles at Umstead, you get at least a 50-mile finish. That first year, I got my 50-mile finish, but I had to stop at mile 75 because you don't know what your body's going to do after a certain period of time. Well, apparently with me, I start breaking out in hives in my feet, and I did not know that after 50 miles. So that was
it
a lot of
hot?
trial and error. No, I went to dermatologist. We did all sorts of trial and error stuff, but apparently it's exercise induced urticaria, something like that, but where my body starts producing histamines. So I was getting these hives in my feet. So I take an allergy pill every 4 to 6 hours when I'm doing an ultra. Which
That's
messes with my
genius. So,
stomach
like,
a lot.
I was going to say, I know several people that have that issue, and we just kind of refer to it as like the herp, like the foot herp, because like you just.
That's horrible.
I know.
Why do you
but
call it that?
I don't know.
Pick a new name.
I don't know. It's like herpetology. Like
No.
you become a frog. Yes.
Nope. Don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Pick a different
I
name.
never thought about like histamines. That is genius.
Yep.
Well, when I've seen,
Yep.
I've seen people break out with looks like heat
Well,
rash
I was gonna-
a lot
yeah.
on their feet and legs during an ultra.
Like Corey.
Yeah.
Whew.
Susan too.
And I always assumed it was just a heat rash. So maybe it's not.
Maybe it might not be all heat rash.
Yeah.
Maybe it's frog feet.
Maybe
or
it's
whatever
frog
the
feet.
Fucking frog feet.
It's like blowing my
And
mind.
it's painful. It's painful. It feels like pins and needles going up the bottom of your feet. And it would hurt so bad that I couldn't walk. And that's why I dropped out of I had to stop about mile 75 that year.
But at Umstead, I went and looked. You've done Umstead a whole bunch of times now. I mean, that's like
13.
Wow,
Do you
13
have,
times. That's amazing.
Is it what do you get when you've done it a bunch?
You get a 1,000 mile buckle after
1,000 mile
10.
buckle. Okay.
And then, but now they do the 2,000 mile buckle. There's like 4 or 5 people that have done that. So now I got to keep going until I hit that 2,000. And during the night we flew in for Cowboy was registration. And you know how fast Umstead sells out. So we're sitting there in the lobby of the hotel trying to register on the cell phone, and I could not get in. And but thank goodness I got a lot of friends that were back home, and they were constantly getting that login screen to log in. And I'm getting texts, Lisa, do you need a slot? And I'm like, yes, I need a slot. So I had a phone call, and I'm giving my credit card information to people over the phone.
That's so funny.
So it looks like you have a couple of favorite race. Sounds like Umstead's one. Yeah, Uari, is that how you say that? Uari. It seems like you've done that one quite a few times.
The 40 miler in February, that is beautiful. And they've got 100K and 100 miler there in October. And I've done the 100K there, but I have not signed up for the 100 miler yet.
No, my buddy Oak Miller, you guys have met Oak. Yeah, he's usually he died there too.
He died? Okay.
Yes, that one's a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's probably the toughest one around here.
And then some of the other ones that I've seen that you've done multiple of. You did the Yeti 100 a couple times. So you like
three
to
times, and
you like to attack these a
After that-
couple times, right?
well, Yeti's a accidental. Well, I won't say accidental, but I have to keep going back only because the first time I did it, I was
Jason
one and
Green.
done. Then my sister, who she does ultras too, she wanted to sign up for it, and I'm like, well, okay, I'll go and I'll do it with you. So we both got in the lottery, we both got in, and then she DNF'd that year. So then we were going to sign up and go back the following year. Well, then the following year, she had a surprise baby come along at 42 years old. So she was like,
it's a baby. You know, that is preventable.
It is. Yeah.
So the last two times it was, well, I was there for her, and then, but of course, I had to go that third year to complete that out. So if I go back, it'll be when Emily wants to go back to do it again.
But all of those are like races that have really strong communities behind them too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, some of the, I mean, I've seen other ones you did that were kind of fun looking were Tunnel Hill, the Pinhoti 100. The ones that I kind of caught my eye that you've done, that Shae's done, is you've done both Vol State 2 times and you've done HOTS once.
So when are you signing up for Third Circle?
I did it. I did it the first year.
Oh, you did Third Circle?
I didn't see Third
I
Circle.
did it. Yeah, they did. They didn't post the results. You won't see anybody with Third Circle results.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, now I
finished
feel
in
like
Louisville.
now I feel like bad because like almost nobody did that race, and
Yep. They were. Hold on. I may still have my results here. I'll tell you.
What an accomplishment.
oh man,
Yeah, they didn't post the results on Ultra Sign Up.
Huh. Well,
I'll see if I
Shae,
can.
we told Shae she needs to go back and do it because she's
No.
done both.
Shae
But
needs
she's-
to do it. Go do it, Shae.
No.
No.
It is awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, Shae, it's awesome.
It's-
Awesome, Shae.
Yeah, you know what? I saw a lot of people having an awesome time out there. And you know what? I just think that just might be too much of a fun time for me.
well, I spent several days bouncing back and forth with Kenny Wonder, and I know you know him.
I was going to say, yeah. I was going to ask if you
Yes.
spent time with Kenny because he's such a delightful human.
Now,
Yes, I spent a lot of time with Kenny back and forth. He is my BFF in hell.
Yep.
and so you've done, I mean, so many big races. I know we could just talk forever about each individual one of these races. Western States, you've done Western States 2 times, and that's where I met you. So you finished it in 2015. I
did.
So can you tell us a little bit about your history with Western States?
Well, when I went out there in 2015, it's hard compared to what's here in on the East Coast, just because of the elevation and stuff. And I am such a slow trail runner, but I'm better at climbing. I'm very cautious going downhill. I'm not one of those fast downhill runners. That's like my motto is safety first. So when I had gone out there and I did the training runs in 2015 and then went out there and did the race, and I knew going back this year what I was getting into, and went out there and did the training runs and knew that it would be in that 29 hour if I was able to finish. And this year it was just it was not what I wanted it to be, because I ran into some issues about, it was after probably close to mile 62 to 70 in that frame. I got to where I just could not breathe. And I couldn't take a deep breath, and I couldn't figure out why. And I was like, you would think because if you're at elevation as the course goes, you're going downhill, and you'd think you'd be able to breathe better. But I just couldn't take a deep breath, and I was getting slower and slower. And I went into the Pointed Rocks aid station around mile 94 with seconds to spare.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I flew through that. Yeah, and I flew through that, and I was like, there is no way I can do 20-minute miles for the next 6 miles. And my pacer, Jen, she's like, yeah, we just got to keep moving. Just keep moving. And I kept doing the math. I was like, I'm going to keep moving, but I can't go any faster.
Oh,
And
trail
so-
math is brutal too.
Yeah.
No. And she had an inhaler. She goes, do you want to try this? I was like, I'll try anything. So I was using her inhaler.
That inhaler could have had anything in it in California.
but it wasn't working, whatever was in it. So coming into Roby Point, it was 11:05. So, the race is over at 11 a.m. So I was coming in at 11:05, and the sweet aid station worker came out, and he's like, what can I get you? Can I get you some water? Can I get you a snack? Can I give you a hug? And I was like, I just want a hug. So he gave me a hug, and the lady came out. She goes, now go to the finish. She goes, you won't get a buckle, but you get a finisher award. You get a finisher shirt because you finished the race. And I'm like, oh, I get to keep my breastband, because they were going to cut, they cut that off if you stop. But she let me keep it. And so that last mile, oh my gosh, I was so relieved. I stopped and sat on the wall for a few minutes to try to breathe. I got a popsicle. Somebody sprayed me with their water hose. I got a beer going around the corner.
So that sounds amazing.
So you just had like the most amazing last mile.
It took about 30 minutes. So when I got close to the school, my whole crew and my running partner Keisha, she was also in the race, and her crew and pacers, because she had to stop at Forest Hill, and another girl from North Carolina. Everybody was right there before we went on the track, so we got to run around the track together as a big group. And I'm coming around the corner, you look up the clock, and it shut off.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know part of me was sad, but part of me was happy. And then I finished, and then I just laid down out there on the football field for the longest. And everybody was just so nice to me. And I'm like, I just can't breathe. I went to the medical tent. Oxygen levels were fine. Heart, blood pressure, everything else was fine. But I could not breathe for like 2 weeks when I got back.
Wow.
I just couldn't take a deep breath. And I had this bad cough for a while. And
so you never found out what it was?
So was it like muscular from like diaphragm exhaustion or something? Or
I was part of that the research study, the medical research study that they do. So I had blood work done the day before, and when the results came back, my iron level was super low.
Oh.
And I thought, maybe I can blame it on iron levels.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I have some kind of reason. But since then, I've been on an iron supplement every day, and I did not have any of that issues at Cowboy. So I don't know.
cool.
Well, that's a great transition. So let's talk about Cowboy
Talk about
200.
Cowboy.
Well, I did want to mention though, before we got to 200, I mean, because that is definitely what we want to hear most about. But you did Barkley's this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have just like an incredible resume that is like,
I mean, we could touch on
insane.
all of it. I mean, spend hours here, but
So I know if anyone really wants to hear in-depth detail, the Carolina Ultra Runners podcast met with you and did a in-depth review of your Barkley's Marathons race. But can you just kind of give us like the highlight of what happened out there, Barkley's?
Well, I got out there and I was way over my head. So I started locked up. Yeah, I got out there. So I had gone when I applied and I found out I was ninth on the wait list. And so I took my land navigation class, and I was actually in that land navigation class when I got drawn for the Western States Lottery. So I couldn't tell anybody I was in the land navigation class, so I couldn't really respond to all these text messages that were coming through on my cell phone. But so I took that land navigation class, and I felt pretty comfortable with that. So I met a couple other people that I knew that were in the race or that were from that area out there in February for a training run, which on that you can only stay on the trails. You can't get off and look around. I kind of had an idea of the big loop going around Frozen Head because I had never been there. And so it was beautiful. And then going back in March when I got there, it's the whole atmosphere and seeing the Yellow Gate and all these famous runners, you're just like, wow. It's like starstruck, it's like all these people that are like really, really good. And then there's me, it's like I'm going to start in the back and hope for the best. But when that very first climb, when you put your poles under your arm like this and you're grabbing the branches to pull yourself up and you're barely breathing, yeah, that was fun. But finding book one, it took me 5 hours and 23 minutes. But it was me and another guy named Steve, which that was just very comical trying to find that first book. But after we found that first one, we went straight to the second, third, and fourth book. So I only made it to 4 books before we could have made it to the 5th book and then had to go back, but we were really close. But you're supposed to, if you hit that time limit, to start making your way back to the start finish.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we did.
So was there like a bailout road, or you could just jump on the regular trail? Is how they have it, how they do that?
Yeah, you have to get back on the regular trail, and then there's the Quitters Road.
Yeah, the infamous Quitters Road.
Follow back down. Yes, I took Quitters Road. I got back, and the whole experience was amazing. That right there is probably the highlight of my
you
whole
got to be there the year that a woman finished the race.
Yes, and 5 people.
So did you stay the whole time?
I stayed until they were all out on lap 5,
mm-hmm.
but I had to leave because I had to be back home because this was like on Friday afternoon, and I have twin boys that play travel baseball, and they had a tournament the next day, and I didn't want to miss that because I'd already missed a couple of other things
mm-hmm.
that they were doing because of running. I was like, well, I'll be back. And of course, on the way home, it rains the entire time, and then their tournament gets canceled, and I could have stayed and watched them finish. But, life happens.
Yeah. But it's what an honor to be able to even be a part of that race, because it's such a, and to put your name in the hat for that one, that is no small feat in of itself, just putting your name in the hat and getting selected for that race.
I know. And I wasn't expecting, that was the very first time I'd ever applied. So I was not expecting.
Well, I mean, you've already done the other stuff. You've already seriously proven yourself through, doing the most difficult race one of the most difficult races out there by doing Circle Hell.
I figured I'd have to apply, 2 to 3 years and then get on a wait list. I wasn't expecting it the first year. So my advice to anybody who's thinking about doing that or applying is to start training way before you decide to apply.
Yeah. I don't even know how I would, especially here, even go about training.
We'd have to make road trips.
Treadmill. Treadmill.
Woof.
Just incline on the treadmill.
Woof. Is that what you did, or did you go find, you have mountains close by?
No. I don't have. I live at 200 feet above sea level.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could go for a 10-mile run and maybe hit 200 feet.
So North Carolina is kind of set up, and it's kind of broke down into 3 sections. You got your coastal, your west coast, your western state, and then you have the central state. And she lives kind of right there close to that central eastern part, what's that, what they call that, like the research circle or something?
Research triangle part in the sand hills.
Yeah. A couple, last year, I was out running or I was out crewing for the Keys 100 with my friend Peter. And as we were running along, a friend of ours pointed out this kid that was running by the name of Seth Epley. And he's like, this guy did a really crazy race. He made a really great video about this race called the Cowboy 200. And I guess it was like the first year that Seth had ran in this thing. And so I never knew about this race called the Cowboy 200. And then I started hearing things. I started following social media. And then I found out that my friend Lisa was registered to run the Cowboy 200 this year. So, I had another friend of ours, Andy Matthews, who runs A1 Ultras down here in Florida. We all run a lot of his races, and Kevin and I are going to run Long Haul 100, which is a race of his in January. Well, he was out there, I guess, working an aid station or captaining an aid station, and he got signed up. He's going to be doing it next year, so I'm going to go out with him and crew with him next year on that race. But it's a race that was on my list of I'd like to do this one day. And so, I'm really, you got to do it. So, and you said for you, it was a little bit different format than other races you've done before. So this is your first one like this. So Why? What makes the Cowboy 200 that you did different from, let's say, Vol State or HOTS, or where you're doing 300 miles, or the other ones where you're doing 100 miles? So what was the difference for you?
Well, I think you should tell us a little bit about the race first, and then maybe dive into, because I don't know.
You've never heard of Cowboy?
I mean, I've heard of Cowboy 200, but not a lot of people have.
Well, I watched a video of somebody doing the Cowboy 200 and only eating gels, and that broke my entire soul. Watching somebody eat nothing but gels for 200 miles.
I'm on the 74th gel.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Craig, who's planning to do gels for across Florida 200. Our buddy Craig, Craig, he's planning on. He said gels. I was like, "What's your nutrition plan?" He's like, "Well, I'm gonna have packs of gels." I'm like, "Oh no,
a whole case of gels doing the cross Florida
It's okay,
200."
no, we're gonna feed him real food."
He doesn't know yet.
So can you tell us about the Cowboy 200, how you found out about it, and how it got involved, and what's your story with that?
Well, it all started with a DNF at Tahoe 100 2 years ago. My friend Keisha and I, we both DNF'd. We're sitting there at the house that we were staying at, and we were sitting on the bed, and I'm sitting there looking for races. I'm like, look, we are already trained. We need to find something to go run. And then I saw the Cowboy 200, but that was the first year they were having it, and it was in November. And I was like, if this was just, a couple months earlier, maybe this is something we can do. Let's put it on our radar for next year. And so the following year, something else was, they moved it to September. But we had already scheduled like Tunnel Hill, so we didn't do it that year. So I was like, we're going to do this in 2024, soon as it opens. So we both got registered for Cowboy 200, and I was very happy to see that it was in September, because seeing those pictures and the videos that first year of people running it, and they were, I don't know if I could carry all those clothes.
It looked
first
so
year,
cold when I watched the video.
November of that first year. I can't imagine, because you're right there, not far from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I mean, it's up there, and it's cold up there. The sky looks blue when it gets cold.
And in the wind, I don't know, see how they would run in that wind, because, in September, it was it was hot, but it was a cool breeze. So that was nice. I was like, I cannot imagine this in the wintertime. So if it ever moves back to November, I'm out.
I'll take it off of my list too.
I love to run in the heat, but not in the cold.
No, you need to come to Florida and run then, because we got plenty of heat down here. And we have a race about every weekend all year long. So there's plenty of races in Florida to do.
Same in North Carolina. Y'all just
I was going to say, I think you guys have the same exact problem.
Yeah, plenty of races in North Carolina.
So many races, so little time.
So, so you got registered for the race, and what was your preparation for the race like?
So it was very similar, kind of what I did for Vol State and HOTS. I typically don't do back-to-back long runs on weekends, but about 8 weeks out, I started doing like a 20-ish mile run on Saturday, and then a 15-ish, give or take a few miles either way, on Sunday. And I was trying to do that for the most part, but then there were 3 weeks out, I would do back-to-back 20 milers. And I would try to do it like a little bit throughout the day. Well, like I do it all, but I try to start at different times. Like,
did you do like 5 or 7 miles and divide it up, or?
Yeah, and then I try to either I would do 10 in the morning and then 10 in the afternoon, something like that, just so I could get in the 20 miles. And then I got my little gym boss, and I was doing a 4-to-1 ratio, or run 4 minutes and then walk one minute, and that worked great for all my long runs. So I did that for all the long runs, and then I was running probably anywhere from 55 to 75 miles a week, depending on how many rest days I was trying to take, but leading up to it. So I knew I had the miles in there, but what was different from this one, from Vol State and HOTS, is how to sleep, because 200 miles, you can do that, but you had to hit an average of 57 miles per day, which is a lot when you think about it on the Vol State or HOTS schedule. And then you had 84 hours to do it in instead of 10 or 10 and a half days.
Yeah.
So you're like, how am I going to rest? How am I going to sleep? Because you can't, I can't lay down and rest if I'm not tired. So how was I going to do that at the sleep stations and be able to rest, adequately before getting up and moving? So that was the challenge for me going into it. How was I going to sleep? The rest of it was, how am I going to, eat? Because the aid stations, they really are kind of far apart, because some of the manned aid stations where they have the food, they can be up to 25 miles apart.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But the water station, you could be up to somewhere between 10 to 16 miles apart.
And were you
So
did you plan to have crew or no crew?
no crew.
No crew.
Yeah. I
And
had
does
no crew, no
can
pacers.
crew meet you like earlier than that, or is it only at like the water stations or manned aid stations?
Only at the manned aid station.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is where your crew can meet you. So even if you were crewed, you still have those long distances between the aid stations. So you've got to carry the stuff on you. And they have a required list of what you're supposed to have on you at all times, and also recommended. So the required water is like 1.5 liters. The recommended is 2.5. I had a 2.5 liter bladder, and then I had a handheld.
Yeah.
So it was, and then I had food and I had gels. And I did not start using gels until right before Western States, because Umstead this year, I don't know what happened, but I threw up 3 times after mile 50.
Oh.
So I know. And it was like projectiles. As soon as something went in, it came right back out.
Oh, that's not
So
good.
I know. So I was like, maybe I could try some gels. But I tried to eat early on and then switched to gels, and then I still threw up at Western States. But this time at Cowboy, I eat real food, and then I would take gels. Like what I started kind of feeling a little yucky, and I knew I needed calories, but it wasn't food just didn't sound good.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of worked well, but I bought way too many gels, and I carried way too many gels.
What brand did you buy?
I did the Precision gels, and then the Science and Sports, the orange flavor. the ones with caffeine are nasty. I couldn't do those. I tried those, but they're nasty. I just can't use those in races.
The Science and the texture of that one just grosses me out so bad. The Science and Sport. Have you guys tried them?
No.
Oh.
I don't do goo gels.
Ugh.
I don't do gels.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, it sounded like you were having problems with your bladder leaking all over you.
Oh, yes. Oh. So as soon as we started, and I don't use a bladder, I usually just use handheld. So unless they're in these long races. So I had my bladder, had not used it in, I don't know how long. My daughter used it not too long ago. And so I assumed it was working fine, but we were in the first mile, and I'm running, and I can feel the sprinkle coming up. And I'm like, do y'all feel that? It's like, and they're like, no. And then I realized it was the mouthpiece on my bladder, and it's leaking. And I'm like, crap. So I took my buff off my neck, and I wrap it around my hand, and I'm holding my nozzle. And my buff is like saturated. I would take my buff and I would squeeze it over my head, because I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to waste any of this water. And I was like, I'm going to run out of water this way. And so then at one point my handheld was empty, and I took the
bite valve.
tube and I stuck it down into the.
Oh,
into the
okay.
water.
That's
I was
good.
running this way, so it would leak into that, and I could just drink my water bottle. So I'm not wasted.
That works.
That's
Hey,
a trail ingenuity right
I
there.
love it.
and I shoved the lid of the water bottle into one of my pockets, and I texted my friend Laura, who was running the 100, and she actually had her sister crewing her, who lived in Omaha, and I was like, can you go to Walmart or somewhere and find me a new bladder or a mouthpiece? And so I think they went to Cabela's, because she's calling me, we found a mouthpiece. Do you still want a bladder? I'm like, yeah, just in case I can't switch it out and it doesn't work. So she dropped all that stuff off at one of the aid stations. I think it was like mile 62, right around that.
So you had
And
60
so when
miles with the horrible bladder that was just leaking. Oh my God.
Yep.
Were you just cursing it the whole time? Like, oh my freaking gosh.
No, it's more of those things that, ultra run is all about problem solving.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, well, crap, now what am I going to do? Kind of a thing. So, but in my mind, I was mentally prepared to go 200 miles with this leaking bladder.
That's so funny.
Filling up my water bottle if I had to.
So did the bite valve just get like bit too hard? Is that what
Did it
happened?
tear or something?
I think it was just old.
Oh, okay. Got-
Wear and tear. Because as soon as I popped in the new one, perfect. And it still had that little flip that you could turn it on
Turn it off and on.
Oh, yeah.
My other one didn't have that. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, I just imagine, if that thing, because I've ran with a bladder that was leaking. So get these little tears around where you bite on them, they'll tear.
Yep.
And then once they start leaking, I've had just get soaking wet from water just dripping down on them. Now, granted, I get sweaty in Florida, so it doesn't bother me as bad. But I couldn't imagine being up in Nebraska overnight. It's probably the temperature probably drops and being wet from having a leaky bladder. That almost sounds like something. It sounds like incontinence.
Speaking of, I had a problem where I was doing a Great Southern a couple years ago, and I'm running, I'm like, why am I so sweaty? I'm so sweaty. Why is my back so wet? And so then I'm just like wringing out the back of my shirt, and then I was like, my bladder is really empty. I'm not drinking that much water. Well, apparently I had a leak in the bladder part where you slide the little doohickey.
Yeah.
And so it was just like popping out the top with every step I ran. So I had like some Leukotape, and this was like 8 miles into 100K. And so I had some Leukotape in my pack, and I just taped the bladder. And it was just like it's like there was nothing I could do. I just lost all the water that was in there, soaking wet.
For those folks listening, make sure you take extra bite valves with you.
Yeah, check your bladder. Make sure everything's working before you take it.
Check your gear, I guess.
Yeah. I actually take extra bite valves.
I'll run everything before you go.
Yeah.
So any other unexpected surprises pop up on you during the race?
Oh, well, diarrhea.
Well, we talk about shitting in the woods an awful
I was
lot
going to
on
say,
this podcast.
I've been there, done that
Yeah.
so many times.
Kevin's last big race, he sprayed some rocks.
I did.
You're like, thank goodness it was dark. It was in the middle of the night. And apparently this course is known for those little spurs that get, if you get off the trail, they're going to stop all of your socks and
sand
shoes.
spurs.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't have the first one because I never left the trail. My hiney did, my feet did. Yep. So it was that was an uncomfortable evening, and then it was better after that.
So that was like night 1?
Night 2.
Night 2, okay.
Night 2 was the worst night ever.
Oh, tell us why.
That one was good, huh? Well, I guess that was when I was really tired.
Yeah.
And I had left, that was from the halfway point to about 144 in, from the halfway point to that first good sleep station at Long Pine where they have the bunkhouse. That was the longest 45 miles of my life. I was tired. I was doing everything I could do to stay awake. I was alone. There was a lightning storm. Thank goodness I was ahead of the storm because there were people behind me that got caught in the hailstorm. Andy's aid station was held on. And they had to tie everything down. And I had left there maybe 30 minutes before all that came in. Because I came in there, I was like, do we need to hunker down here for a little bit? And the lady that lives in that area, she's like, no, I checked the radar. Just enjoy the light show. I'm like, okay, but you could see the wind coming and all this stuff. And then it got dark and it was just a light show behind me. And I was like, oh crap. And there is nowhere to take shelter out there in that long stretch. Then my stomach went south, and good thing I was alone and it was dark.
That's so funny.
You know what? It's nice to have friends make eye contact with you when you poop.
My dog does that to me.
It's not
Your dog? Why is your dog in the bathroom?
We
with you?
watch each other. I go to the bathroom. He comes and watches me. I take him outside. I return the favor.
That's
So-
weird. You should not make eye contact with your dog while he's pooping.
Your dog,
They're
my
pack
dog,
animals.
they will absolutely do. They will face you. It's something about them feeling safe or comfortable with
It's like, watch me poop, Dad.
Yeah, they absolutely will do it. Listen, if you got a dog, you know. It's,
Now, do you take pictures of that and send it to your kids like I do?
I haven't done that, but I do take cute pictures of my dog.
Pooping?
Well, doing other stuff
send
other
it,
than pooping.
You should send it to Savannah.
He's kind of cute when he poops, though.
You should send it to
Yeah.
Savannah. She would be very happy about that.
I had to watch her cat. I've taken pictures of her cat, but not pooping. Yeah. All
right.
So, the same weekend I was we love, this group loves the Blue Dot Watch.
Yes.
So we are dot watching anytime there's a big race and we have friends involved in it. So I was watching Run Rabbit Run all weekend and I was watching your race. I was like glued to my phone. And so I hope we did. I mean, I texted you lots of different times. You were just happy to respond back and tell me what was going on with your race because I'm like, what's going on?
Yes. Yeah, 3 a.m. you texted me that first night, and it was great. I was coming in the O'Neill aid station. I was so tired. My feet was hurting, and I was like, I cannot wait to get there and just put my feet up for about an hour. And there you are at 3 a.m. I'm like, oh, somebody's awake.
That's funny.
I've crewed 14-ish people on multi-day events. So we have the Across Florida 200 that goes through Florida here.
Yeah, when are you doing across Florida? By the way,
Well, I don't know when it.
You need to find out and do it
Next year.
So
I need some friends to go do it with me.
So yeah,
Hey, let's go.
that race goes from the Gulf all the way over to St. Augustine on the Atlantic, 200 miles. About 100 plus miles of it is out in the Ocala National Forest, very remote, no access to stores, shopping, nothing. It's just woods, and I know it's like people are out running. They're doing it all night long. And, and it's kind of monotonous at night, especially if you don't have a pacer. Having a pacer helps break it up a little bit. So I know that people doing multi-day events running through the night, their mind cuts to wandering. And so I don't mind at all at 3 o'clock in the morning because I usually wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning anyhow. Just shooting a text, find out where you're at, look at the blue dot and find out where you're at and let you know we're thinking about you. And most people receive that very well, the 3 a.m. text messages. So...
Yes, I enjoyed that.
It's kind of fun. So yeah, so we was able to go back and forth a few times on some chats, and you seemed like you were always in good spirits, with it. I think there was one point where you were like, I'm really, really tired, and I don't know what I'm going to do about my sleep. And I know from experience of talking to people, that have done these and being with people doing it, and I've not done a multi-day race, but I've been out in the woods a lot with people, is sleep often and sleep early. And most of the people I've seen that don't finish are people that don't manage their sleep on like a 200-mile race. They get so exhausted, so tired that they just can't recover back from it. Did you ever feel like you were having that issue?
No, because when there, I carry a trash bag in my pack because I can lay down on anything and throw my feet up. That was in my mind.
Stop looking at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah. Apparently, Vol State and HOTS teaches you how to be a homeless person.
Life of a stray dog.
We were at an aid station one time.
Yes.
We were at an aid station, and Shae asked the aid station volunteers, do you guys have a trash bag? I just want to take a nap. They're like, no, we don't have a trash bag. We have a blanket.
I asked for a piece of cardboard.
You did.
Because cardboard is so soft.
It is. It is. If you have a trash bag and a cardboard, you are living the dream.
that and an underpass, and you're good.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. So I had a trash bag, and I would just whip it out of my pack and lay it on the ground. And at the water station, they're just coolers laying on the ground or sitting on the ground. So I would throw my feet up on top of those because anytime I was going to stop, I was going to elevate my feet.
Yeah.
So whether or not I could sleep or not, I just lay there and I closed my eyes just to rest. I probably slept the entire time 6.5 hours.
wow.
And yeah, but the best one was at mile about 145ish at that bunkhouse because I went in there and they have beds and showers. So I took a shower and I got in the bed and I slept hard for 3 hours. And I had my alarm set for 4 hours, but I woke up at 3 because I could hear people talking. And so I was like, well, I feel great now. I'm going to get up, I'm going to pack my stuff up and get out of here an hour early. And that's what I did. But it's when I've done HOTS in Vol State before, I was usually with the group and I'm not tired when they are, or I was tired when they weren't. And so that's really hard to stay with people. So when I did Third Circle, that was probably the best sleep that I'd ever gotten because it was like, I'm going to sleep for 4 hours right here. I'm going to sleep 5 hours right here. And that's what I did. Mm-hmm. But it was something that, at that point you just lay down anywhere because everything is so remote. But at Cowboy, there's some animals out there in the woods that I just did not feel comfortable with because you're running along and people had said, we've got issues with coyotes out here. And I'm like, well, I don't want to just lay here and a coyote come see me. It was,
yeah.
And then I don't know if it was the skunk or something. I was coming across the bridge and you could see these two little eyes at the end of the bridge. And I had my poles at that time and I was just like
clacking them together.
Yep. And I was like, and it turned around and started running in the other direction, but it wasn't a cat. It was probably bigger and it was fatter than a cat, but it was about the size of it. I was like, oh crap, I hope that is not a skunk.
It's a forbidden cat.
Yes, I know.
Forbidden cat.
So it was so I didn't feel comfortable laying around just anywhere out there. It'd been better, like I lay down at the little water coolers or actually at the manned aid stations, but sleeping was kind of hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how did your nutrition go? You said you had some stomach issues. So did your nutrition plan work for you, or was that working against you?
Really, it worked way better than I had hoped, because I usually try to eat a lot of solid foods at the beginning, because during 100 milers, that's when my stomach goes south. I usually don't have those issues in the like Hots and Ball state, because you are going a lot slower and you have time to eat, sit, let it
you're having a
digest,
full sit down meal. You're making sure you get like one hot food meal a day.
That sounds luxurious.
You go to a restaurant and you're just gross and you're like, do you guys have a phone charger here? I need an outlet, please.
I'm just gonna sit in the back corner.
I'm just gonna take my shoes off in your restaurant. I'm sorry.
But so when I can't eat like anything with bread or crackers and stuff at a certain point, because my mouth is just so dry and it's just, ugh, you can't, I want something wet and cold. So the first time there was a water station, I want to say it was around mile 54. You could actually leave the course and go across the street to a gas station. And they actually had a grill where you could get cheeseburgers or whatever, but I went in there, nothing sounded good other than ice cream. So I got ice cream. And
carbs, fat, protein.
Love
it's got everything you need.
Exactly. So I ate an ice cream and I left there. And then, so at the next aid station was like the O'Neill, and they had tacos. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite. So I got there and they had the walking tacos, the little chips, and you put the meat in the bag and the cheese in the bag. They brought me that, and I stayed there for about an hour and a half. That was just right after I talked or texted with you, Joe. And so I just laid there and had my feet put up. Oh crap. I just went out my building.
Well, you're still on the internet, so
you're still on the internet and still.
Well, my phone is charged. I mean, my laptop's charged. I hope the internet stays up. Maybe it's coming back on now. That's odd. Anyways, so I ate tacos there. When I left there, they gave me some potato soup, which was great. But I was trying to eat like the heavier stuff and then lay down and rest. Mm-hmm. And so, because I figured I need that food, but I need time to let it digest and then continue on. So at the other times where I wasn't going to sit, I would drink like ramen noodle soup or something that was liquid that I didn't have to chew up. But so that seemed to actually work well. And I had taken some Zofran with me. Mm-hmm. So I was taking that every 8 to 10 hours just as maintenance, hoping that I wouldn't get the stomach issues, and I never got nauseous, which is crazy for me.
So of the 3 nights that you spent out there on the trail, which night do you think was the struggle for you? Which one was the hardest for you, do you think?
Night two.
Yeah.
Shae said that before.
I was going to say day 2 for me in any of the 3 multi-days that I've done. Day 2 has always been just brutal until then day 3, your body finally clicks in.
Yep.
And then it accepts what's happening to you.
Yep. Yeah, and my legs, when I started on that 3rd day, I'm like, I feel great.
Right.
But I also had just slept too. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can turn my light. There we go.
Yay.
I'm back on.
So getting into day 3 or night 3, you're kind of coming towards the end of your race. How are you feeling on night 3 then?
night 3, Shae can relate. That's when your feet start, you can feel the pain in your feet.
Mm-hmm.
My legs were okay. You got a couple little hip or knee pain here and there, but it was really my feet.
It's the unrelenting foot pain. Unrelenting.
So at Western States, we taped the entire bottom of your foot. And you said
you did a fantastic job.
And you said you've had foot problems, issues with your feet and blisters and stuff before. So did you have those same? Did anyone tape your feet for you, or did you tape your feet for this? Did you have any problems?
I taped my feet for this. The only blisters that I got them on. It was a weird spot on the top of my big toes, in the exact same spot, not on the side. It was like sort of on the top part below my toenails, and I could feel that, so I untaped that at the halfway point, popped those, put diaper cream on them, retaped them, and retaped my feet, and didn't have any other blisters. By the time I finished, they had already dried up. So
yeah.
But I pulled up those pictures that Joe had taped my feet, and I did everything. Well, I didn't tape my toes right, apparently, but the bottom of my feet, they worked out well. I just couldn't figure out how to get that white tape between the toes to hold the tape down. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I bought the tape.
There's a little bit of a technique to cutting those little figure 8s. You got to cut them the right way. You have to practice doing it. So I have to show you how to do it sometime.
Yep.
There you go. So you wake up, you're in the next morning, the last morning, headed towards the finish line. This is the last stretch. We knew, you got 3 nights done. This is the last time, nights behind you. How are you feeling going into the daylight the last day?
I was just tired because I had slept about an hour at the last sleep station. It's about a marathon to go. And I was like, I could probably do this in about 7 hours. It took 8 hours. But it was, I left there and I'm by myself on that last long stretch. And I turned my music on my cell phone and just played that. And I passed a couple of people along the way, but it was just me by myself, and it was so hot that day. And hardly any breeze, but that last section, that last marathon part of it, was the prettiest of the entire course.
And you got to see it during the day.
I did.
Because a bunch of people didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think about that.
And you cross this really, really long bridge, and that was beautiful. And when I got on the other side of that bridge, I think it's less than maybe 3 miles or less to go. And there was this nice little bench. I'm like, I'm going to sit there and put my feet up for a little bit. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to sit for 5 minutes and then I'm going to get up. And then you look at your watch. No, maybe 5 more minutes. So now I'm like a mile to go to the finish. And I was like, well, if I pick this up, I could finish in under 80 hours. I finished in 80 hours and 1 minute. Here, but I got to that point like, I don't care. I'm going to finish this thing. I don't care if it's 79 hours or 83 and a half. It was just, I was at that point. I want to be done, but I didn't care if it was 79 hours or 80 hours at that point. My feet hurt so bad, I just wanted to stop.
So you did come in, though, well under the cutoff for the end of the race. Yep. You had plenty of cushion there for time. So did you stick around to watch the last folks come in?
I did, because my best friend, Keisha, was the last person to actually finish.
Yay, way to go, Keisha.
Yeah, she had she got an unofficial finish, because when she was projected to come in, it was like 5 minutes afterwards. Her story is so funny. If you need to hear get a story from somebody else, hers is hysterical, because that's where her sleep deprivation kicked in about 3 miles to go. She started hallucinating that she was in Raleigh and that she was on Glenwood Avenue, and that bridge. She was like, I'm not crossing that. She sat down. She unpacked her pack and put all her stuff in the trash bag. Stashed it in the bushes that she was going to come back to later. And they sent somebody out to find her. And one of the runners who had just finished, she and her sister got in the car and drove back to the bridge, and they found her, and she was still in her Raleigh phase. And she's like, let's just walk across this bridge together. She's like, no, it's dangerous. She's like, just walk with me. She goes, let me get my stuff out of the bushes. She got her backpack, threw it over her shoulder, and they walked it in. But she said it took her a little while to come out of the whole, I'm not in Raleigh. My friend, she's like, everybody's waiting on you. And she's like, why are they waiting on me? So it was her story. It just makes me giggle every time she tells it.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So we
Unofficial finishes are something else. If you finish in like yours with Western States, like the did not officially finish is, goodness, that's got to be so tough.
She got a buckle.
Yeah.
She got her buckle. She got everything else. And Chase and Casey, they are fantastic race directors. They just said, look, you're a finisher. The only thing it's going to be unofficial on is ultra sign up. And really, who cares about that part?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, you covered the distance. You did everything out there. You know, if it's an hour over the time limit, you got your buckle. You're a finisher, but just unofficial on ultra sign up.
So knowing your race history and that you like to go back and do races multiple times, do you think you're going to go back and do Cowboy 200 again?
Absolutely. I would definitely do it again.
I mean, I'm feeling kind of fired up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to do multi-days again, but I'm like, Cowboy 200 seems like a awful time.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it.
That's what I was going to tell people. It's like these journey runs on training wheels. So you've got your aid stations. You get to practice what you would do out on a journey run, but you have to do it a little bit faster because of
time constraints.
Yeah. But I kept trying to tell Keisha, I was like, look, now let's do a journey run. She's like, nope, not doing it.
But like, so how was it like the adjustment? Because you've done, the Vol State, the HOTS, where you go from basically, I don't know, my brain went to 12-hour increments. The only thing that matters is this 12-hour increment and then the next 12-hour. So did you have to break it up in a different way when you did just the solid 200?
Mine was manned aid station to manned aid station. That's how my mind was working. Like if I can get to, the water stops were good, but let's get to the next manned aid station. Mm-hmm. That's how I was breaking it up.
Were there cutoffs between aid stations? Did you have to meet?
There were. And so, so I hit those, but the last year when they had a much tighter cutoff. I think at mile 81, I think that year was 27 hours, and this year they had extended it to 31 and a half or 31 hours. And I think that was when they do the feedback every year after a race, that was one of the suggestions to increase the number of hours at that O'Neill aid station at 85, because most people were dropping there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's when they need that little buffer so they could actually get rest and then start back out.
Well, yeah, I mean, because we have other races around where they have just really fast cutoff times for the early parts, and you exhaust yourself running to those early cutoffs, and then you have nothing left in the tank for those longer miles at the end that are going to take you more time to do.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad that sounds like they're fantastic race directors if they're taking the input like that and making adjustments to the race. You got 3 years into this race, and I've not heard anything bad about it. I mean, it's 200 miles is a sufferfest, no matter who's doing it.
Yeah.
But
other than when it's really cold. I don't do cold shit. So
the fact that I don't know if someone suggested if they did it on their own, but to move it from November to September, that's a big deal.
That's a big jump. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And I was in South Dakota over the winter. I know how cold it gets up there, and like you said, the wind is horrible. There's not a whole lot up there to stop it.
There's no trees to hide behind.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop the wind. It just comes across the prairie. So at the end, you said it got really pretty. Is that kind of like I'm imagining this is the race is called Cowboy 200. I'm imagining people wagon training across the state of Nebraska. So what was the scenery pretty up there? That area. What was it like, the scenery?
When it got really pretty to me, there was just like rolling hills. The trail got away from the highway, so you couldn't even see the cars at this point. And you're just like, farms are on both sides of you. It's rolling hills. You got cows. And then there were a couple of little lakes that just popped out of nowhere. And then that long bridge that I said we crossed, that was just beautiful because there was a river underneath it. But other than that, it was really flat. you're either beside a road or beside big pastures of corn or hay and I don't watch scary movies, but I'm so glad I never saw Children of the Corn because I scared to death out there.
And I just looked it up because, now I looked at my calendar. Now I'm looking at this thing.
Before the night's over, Shae, we signed up.
I'm like, what do I have next year? But it's for a 200 miler. It's with taxes $687, which is a very good price for a 200.
So so between now and the end of the month, it's supposed to be like $500 after.
Oh wait, after September 30th, it's $687. Right now, it's $573.
Wow.
Yep. So if you're gonna get in, jump in now.
Ooh.
Well,
And they have some kind of deferral program too. So if something comes up, you defer.
sounds like we might be seeing you on trail next year.
Help!
Let's all do it together.
It's at the end of September next year, so it's
Yeah.
I got a few more days to decide
to register or not.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, that sounds. Listen, I really appreciate that race recap because I know I don't know that this race has gotten a lot of attention, but it's picking up more and more, and I know I'm really excited about it, and hopefully other people will hear about this. And that's where we have Florida runners out there this year. I know that other Florida runners. At least 2 or 3 that have already registered to go out there this next year. Mm-hmm. So I'll be out there crewing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that part of the country myself. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story about that race. That's just really cool.
So do you have? As I say, do you have any interest in doing Derek Murphy's Coast to Coaster? Have you looked at that at all?
I have looked at that. When is that? That's in April.
So last year it was apparently really cold. I think he did it in March, and it was like in the 30s and 40s some days. And I'm like, I don't know. Do it in the summer. Give me warm weather.
See, that's really close to Umstead, and that's one of those that I have to do. That's either at the end of March, first weekend in April. So, until I need those to be, a little further out or a little further past it in order to do it because I want to stay at Umstead.
Yeah, you need to get your 2000.
That's right.
That's it.
I got to see pictures of these buckles too, by the way. You need to send this on. Oh, she's got them.
You got some buckles right there with you so you can show us some stuff, huh?
Yes. Here my office. Okay, so here's my 1,000-mile buckle.
Oh, it's so pretty. That's so cool.
Shiny.
There's my Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so along the trail, this is the picture of what the trail markers look like.
Oh, that's super cool.
And then underneath it, it's got like mile 142 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sizable buckle too. I mean, that fills up your palm of your hand there pretty well. So yeah.
And here is my buckle from Western State.
Hey, look at that. Wow.
So you have one. You've got.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try again, get in the lottery again, and.
I thought before I went out there this year, I was like, okay, well, I'm now 50 years old. This is probably my last chance to do it because I am getting older. And then I thought, no, crap, I'm going to get in this lottery every single time until as long as I'm qualifying, I'm going to run until I time out on the course.
So is it worth? So it's worth the hype.
Yes. Yeah. Just to be out there, the history of that course and all those famous people that have been out there and all those people that have run on that course is beautiful. Joe can tell you.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I got to sit out there all day and hang out with Gordon Ansley. I mean, that's just neat.
Well, Craig has convinced me that I don't actually want to run the race, that I want to go and do the training camp and have fun that way.
The training camp is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because there's no pressure. You just go out there, you take pictures and hang out and run, walk, and you still got to finish in a certain amount of time, but it is fun.
Yeah, see, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
There's too many things to do and not enough time.
Yeah.
You have to do them all today.
Yeah. Well, you got to sign up for at least one tonight.
No, I've signed up for too many races during pods. I've done that too many times.
Do it now, Shae.
No, I won't do it.
You don't have a hair on your ass if you don't do it now.
So what is
Joe approve you.
Yeah,
Joe approved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe crew you.
So what's on
Take your
the
feet.
what's on the horizon for you now after this race is over? I know you're recovering. Have you signed up for anything I know you're in race director mode right now, but so for races for yourself, what are you thinking about for the future?
Right now I've got a 50K. It's the Derby 50K. I do that typically every year it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then I'm signed up for Charleston 100, and that's pretty much run like a journey run, self-supported out there. So January I don't have anything. I'm gonna be out of town a lot that month, and then February I usually do Uwharrie 40, but I am on the fence about doing Swami Shuffle 200.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, Swami!
I know. So if I can swing that, I'm gonna sign up for that.
So what Swami Shuffle is? It's 200 miles. It's actually 225 ish, maybe. It ends up being more than 200. But you start in Virginia Beach, and you go down, and you're on the beach for the vast majority of the run.
Like 20 miles of the first.
Yeah, and it's in February,
miles.
so it's not hot. It's typically pretty chilly, and it's kind of the same style thing. And it's for veterans about
Suicide awareness.
awareness. Mm-hmm.
Is it a point to point?
No, it's a
Up and down?
Up
So
and
you just
down.
go back and forth,
Yep.
up and down the coast?
yep.
Yeah.
I think you go right to the border.
I lived in
Yeah, you go all the way here. So along the Outer Banks.
Okay.
Okay, so I lived in Virginia Beach for a while. I'm not really excited about the Virginia Beach itself. I mean, it's like a touristy destination, and you know.
I went to Virginia Beach as a kid because I lived really close to there for my first couple years.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. Now, the coastal North Carolina is better. You get down by the Dismal Swamp area, you get down towards
Yeah,
the
that
Outer
sounds
Banks.
great.
That's
Dismal Swamp.
The Dismal Swamp.
that sounds
That sounds
amazing.
amazing.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous. They have alligators that far north.
Oh.
In the Dismal Swamp. Yeah. So yeah, there's some fantastic races though. I definitely am exploring the idea of making some trips to North Carolina. My sister lives in Charlotte. They have a race I just found out about in Belmont, and I didn't even know they had one there. So
Does your sister have enough room for Kevin?
my sister has a huge house.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's got enough room.
Sounds
for all of
amazing.
us.
I love the idea already, Joe.
So yeah, definitely want to head up to North Carolina. Obviously, you have a welcome invitation to come down. We all have guest rooms at our
I
house.
love guest rooms.
So come to Florida and race with us. The Across Florida 200, which was the Across Florida was a virtual race. Last year they're doing it virtually, so people would sign up and they'd do it. They'd get their own support and go. End of November next year, they're going to do it as a full-on race with 16 aid stations.
Yes.
I think it is.
Quite a few sleep stations. I think 3 or 4 sleep stations, if I remember correctly.
And I think there's a 92-hour.
It's pretty hefty. Yeah.
90,
Oh.
I think it's 92-hour cutoff.
And this is in November
Yes.
2025.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to go on the list.
She's writing it down. She's writing it down. Put it on the short list.
So come down. If you come down, I'll commit to crew you for it.
Yep, we'll put you up. We'll
And it's
help out. We'll pace.
the trail runs like maybe 2 miles from Shae's house.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So like I can
Oh, wow.
2 miles away, it goes
Yeah.
right by. Because like at one point I'm doing the Across Florida and I'm like, it's about 10 p.m. or maybe it was midnight, and I'm like, I'm about 2 miles from my house right now.
I live less than an hour from about 75% of the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So this is our backyard.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's we love to support that race. So
How close
yeah.
are you to long haul?
So long haul's January.
Yep.
About an hour and a half.
That's about
from
an
long
hour.
haul.
About an hour and a half from us. Yeah, it's not too far.
That would be on my January 2026 list.
There you go.
Hey, let's
So
go.
I'm doing it January 2025. We was just out doing a race called the Wild Boar, which is in the Green Swamp, directly across the highway from Colt Creek, where they do the long haul, and the trail probably 3/4 or more of it. I would say it was a half marathon. I'd say out of the 13 miles, 10 of it was in water.
Deep water.
Deep water.
Yeah.
And so they were supposed to have a training run at Long Haul this past weekend, Saturday, just to go out and do, it's like a 17 and a half mile loop. And they had to cancel it for water because some of the areas were like deep water. And last year, Long Haul was very muddy and very wet. and
Very cold.
And if it stays like it is right now, it's going to be another very muddy, very wet year
It's going to dry up.
We're praying
dry
for the rain to stop for a little while. If not, it's just going to be a muddy, swampy mess.
Speaking of that, Joe, didn't you go do a run the other day where you were almost over your head in water? Let's talk about that for just a second here, bud.
So, put an announcement out there. The three of us just created a new company called WTF Events. So we have 4 races on our schedule that we're hosting, and I've been looking for places that I want to put on races, and I want to have some varied topography for the race, and I want it to be kind of conveniently located. So I live in a neighborhood that's surrounded by about 10,000 acres of publicly owned lands. And at one end, there's this place called Indian Lake State Park, which is part of Indian Lake State Forest. It's a very new forest in Florida. It's only a couple years.
No, it's old. It's an old
Well,
forest.
the area's been there for a long time.
They're just like, guys, hurry up. We got to put some trees here.
Plant these trees now.
So it just popped up a forest and made it a state forest. And so...
No, it's like in cartoons when they go and they put up the umbrella, but it's a tree.
Well, in the last...
Remember that?
Yeah. And the last 2, like a Looney Tunes type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tree. Yeah, Bugs Bunny. Sounds like something Bugs Bunny would do. So like about 2 months ago, they started building a new trail in this park. They only have one like 1.5 mile long trail, and it's a very nice trail. But there's a prairie, and then there's a sinkhole, and the sinkhole is about 80 feet deep, and there's a creek that feeds from the prairie into the sinkhole and drains that entire prairie into the Florida aquifer. And when there's some bad flooding, apparently we've had some bad flooding, it gets really high. They had built this trail, and I was out scouting it out because I wanted to maybe look at putting a race there. And I did the eastern half of this trail. I wanted to find out exactly where they marked it and where it was at and see if it was completed. It's mostly completed. It's got a little work to still be done on it. And I get about halfway into it, and I can see where the tree line dips down and starts heading in, and you can see the markers. As the water is moving up the trees, the markers are closer and closer to the water. Someone went, probably 6 to 8 feet up with these little tag markers and hammered them into the tree. And I could see off in the distance, in one place, it didn't look like the marker was no more than a foot off the water.
Oh boy.
So I wanted to see how deep this was. I know it's a short section, but I've been in here a lot, and this area is infested with cottonmouths. Yeah, I have seen so many cottonmouths in there, and the sun's going down. And they get active as the sun starts going down, and it's late, and so I start wading in, and I get to my ankles, and I'm up to my knees. Next thing I know, I'm pulling my phone out of my vest or my pocket, and I'm holding it above my head so that I can see. I want to see how deep I could go into this thing without having to swim.
Well,
So once I got to about my chest, I'm like, that's enough. The sun's going down. It's dark. The water is black, and so I just turned around and come out of it. And I found another way to kind of skirt around it. And then I went out to the highway, the entrance to the park, and ran the highway back. It's just right there by my house. So looking forward to having a race out there that people are going to have to swim.
No, we're not doing
Joe's volunteering to flag the race.
No.
Well,
And then we'll have a bike ride too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll have the Florida Trail Triathlon.
Florida Trail Triathlon.
It is so pretty out there, but the problem, I guess, would be with having a race is there. It's unpredictable as to whether it's going to be flooded or not. And if it's that flooded, then obviously you wouldn't want to have a race in there you want to protect less than the safety of the people. You want to protect the trail, because when you can't see where the trail's at, people are going to be in there moving around and disturbing the ground and underneath it. And eventually it's going to dry, and you're going to have this horrible mess underneath there where people were at. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a really beautiful area, though. And there's a lot of history there. There's a couple of Native American burial sites in that forest. There's like a 150, 200-year-old Confederate cemetery in there. There's some really neat history in that area. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I went swimming.
Yeah, no.
That's a no for me.
The cottonmouths.
Yeah, you guys have What we don't have them. What is the big snake you guys have up in North Carolina?
Copperheads.
Is it copperheads?
Copperhead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they have copperheads, and they have rattlesnakes. They have timber rattlers up in the mountain areas. I don't know if y'all have timber rattlers where you're at.
Yeah, probably not where I'm at. We have mostly the copperheads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember
in this area.
going to my sister's house, and they were moving the trash can. The neighbor was moving the trash can onto the road, and there was a copperhead underneath it.
No.
And this is in the city. This is right outside of Charlotte, you know. They're everywhere.
Oh, I live in town, and there was a copperhead in my yard. We kill at least one or two every year. We live close to a pond, so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They like to.
You got good habitat. Good habitat for.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to be looking forward to following some more Lisa Blue Dots moving across some fantastic courses. Hopefully we can convince you to get down here to Florida and let us host you so you can come run one of our swampy wet trails or do some of our sugar sand or we're different. Our trails are different. We're just built that way. So
yeah. But I do want to just like give you a crazy shout out because obviously we barely even tiniest bit did not scratch the surface. You have 110 results on Ultra Sign Up. I don't know if you do it, but sometimes I will go to when I look up Ultra Sign Up and I'm seeing who else has signed up for the race, and you see anybody that's got 50, 75, 100 results, and you're like, oh crap, what are they doing? So I always like click and see like, what has this person done? And definitely you're one of those people you'd go like 110, holy cow, that's so many races. So.
Well, like Joe said, most of them started in 2008, and that's a long time to be doing this.
That is a long time, but that means you're doing a lot of them every year too, though, and you're not shying away from some real distances. I mean, how many 100s have you completed? I couldn't count them all, but I know there's a lot in there.
20.
2,000 miles of 100-mile races. That's a lot. Very impressive. I'm impressed by it for sure.
Yeah, about half of those were Umstead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paying homage to the Braintree. That's the only thing I know about Umstead. Braintree. That there's actually gain in that one. It's like 8,000 feet of gain over the race.
Are you talking about the butt tree?
Butt tree. Oh, I've always heard it called the Braintree.
Well, I've never heard it called the Braintree, but I could see that. But everyone's called it the butt tree.
Oh, Steve Tersey. He's the one that I've heard called Braintree.
It's the same one.
And one of the cool things about that race too, Umstead, is that they have people that just come in to pace. Excuse me. So just a random person will come and be like, hey, I'm going to pace. And they'll just wait until a runner needs somebody.
Oh, that's
cool. And they just go out and pace with them.
Oh, that's wild.
Yes.
Well, I will definitely see myself in North Carolina in the future running some trails with you. And we'll put your race on our schedule and see. This year, probably, I think my October is completely slammed. We've got three groups of people in October wanting me to help them with the Across Florida 200. So our season for that is the winter. And so in 2 weeks, we have our first runner that's going to be completing it for this season. In the spring, we had 4, which we've never had that many actually before. But we'll probably, I asked the race director to give me a number. He said he had actually went out and got, was that Giardia? Is that what they call that?
Giardia. Yeah.
So he does adventure races.
And so he drank from a sketchy place.
Got some bad water. So he hasn't reached back out to me, but I know there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 plus people. And that's a lot when you have 1 or 2 going at a time.
Yeah.
And it takes them 3 days to do it. They're not all clumped together.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. But it's fun. And this will be the last year that we get to do it like this.
I know.
And we've had so much fun.
So it's virtual now, and then it's going to be a real race.
A real race. I'm a real boy.
People are going to be racing for real.
It is fun to watch the 200-mile distance starting to open up across the country. 200 miles seems to be the new 100-miler.
Yep. And it is fun. It is different. But Shae, you've already done the Hodson Vol State. Mm-hmm. It is easier. I will tell you that, especially when there's aid stations.
Yeah, so I've only done the 200 as Across Florida virtual, where these guys were my aid stations. So I've not done one that's just like an organized race. Everybody's out there at the same time.
Well, maybe we can.
Well, you and Andy just need to sign up, and Joe will take care of you for next
Heck
year.
yeah, we'll do it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So, what are we missing that you want to share with us?
I think we may have covered it all.
I got it covered. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have any hallucinations like your friend, or no?
No, nothing like that. But the only thing that I think of when I was getting tired, some of the gravel on the side looked like, is that puzzle pieces? But I was like, I'm not hallucinating. I've never hallucinated. So, things might appear to be stuff, but I'm with it enough to know, no, that's not puzzle. That's just the ground, but no, I've never experienced that.
Interesting.
I know when I need to lay down.
There you go. Early and often.
Well,
Early and often.
thank you so
That's right.
much, Lisa, for coming on and talking to us and trusting us with your story. I can't wait to share it with other people, and excited to seeing you out on the trail again.
Well, thank y'all for inviting me.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So make sure you check us out at where'sthefinishpodcast.com. Leave a rating and review. You can do that on Spotify. You can do that on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll see you out there.
Let's go.